Welcome, everybody, to Inside Boxing Weekly on the Grueling Truth Radio Network. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster. Right now, I would like to welcome in my co-host, Jeremiah Preisser. How you doing tonight, Jeremiah?
I am doing very well. I'm always doing very well when I'm on the show. Excited to be here, excited to be on, ready to talk some boxing, Mike.
All right, let's just keep the language clean this week, Jeremiah.
I'll try my best.
All right. We have a special show tonight. We have got the WBA Bantamweight Champion of the World, Rau'Shee Warren, on tonight, getting ready to defend his title, I think, on Bounce TV Network, February the 10th. How you doing tonight, Rau'Shee?
I'm doing good, ready to go, February 10th, man, so I can get home and get ready for my birthday, February the 13th.
So you still live in Cincinnati?
Oh, yeah, yes. Gotta love my city to just move
okay,
away.
I'm only about 20 minutes away from there. I'm just across the border in Indiana. So we'll start off. You start off, Cincinnati, Ohio has produced many quality fighters, guys like Ezra Charles, Aaron Pryor, Adrian Broner. How did you pick up boxing when you were younger, and what age did you pick it up?
I picked it up when I was 6 years old, following my older brother, Stephen Warren, which is here with me in training camp. I was always, just following him, around everything he was doing. Like, no matter if he was playing basketball, I probably would have been playing basketball. But he was actually boxing, and they wouldn't even let me come to the gym at one point because I was still too young. So I used to get mad, cry to my mama, ask where my brother was going. And one day they finally opened the door in a van, and they let me get in. And once I got down to the gym when I was 6 years old, it was like a whole new playground, like, for me, because it was boxers down there on my side, weren't my age, but they was my side, and they were just, running around with boxing gloves, head in the bag, and I just wanted to fight everybody. I want to fight him. So my coach, Mike Stafford, he was, just telling me, like, man, you too little. You too little right now. You too little. I'm like, I ain't trying to hear that. I want to fight. So they put me in the ring, and I had, was fighting. I ain't cried at all. So he talked to my mom, and my first fight was at 8 years old, and I won probably like 50-something fights in a row, and then I finally lost, and I was going from there since then.
Oh wow! So I've seen you fight quite a bit, and you seem to have a lot of natural talent. So obviously that translated quickly into the amateur ranks, right? I mean, you got in there and you just picked things up quickly, and then just immediately succeeded. Correct? Yeah. It's like
once I competed in my first tournament, which was the Silver Gloves, and I had won a belt. I ended up winning that tournament, 6 in a row. Was the first to ever win it 6 in a row because Ricardo Williams had won it 5 in a row after De La Hoya. He won it 5 in a row, and I won it 6 in a row. So, and plus they was giving out belts. So it was like, oh, man, like I got to get them belts. Like, that was just something that I was just so gone off of. I just wanted belts. Like, so I ended up getting all them belts and all the way up to doing my career with going to the Olympics and winning tournaments after that. I think I counted up to like 22 belts before I turned professional.
Well, and you talked about that, the Olympics. In 2004, at the age of only 17, you upset a lot of boxers there in your place in the Olympics. You were not only the youngest fighter there, but you were also the youngest of all the athletes to qualify. What do you remember about that experience?
It was like a dream, like, cause it's like when I was in a moment, it was like that. I'm looking at, Allen Iverson, like standing next to me. He got the same thing I got on, and it was like I was so just shocked, like just me seeing all these athletes that I watch on TV, and they actually like standing next to me or standing across from me, and we all got the same thing on, which was, representing the United States. It's like I wanted to get autographs from everybody, but I kept my composure. I was just chilling, like, what, I ain't about to just act crazy around everybody. So I'm, just get pictures and have pictures I could just show when I get home to my family. But as soon as I left like from the opening ceremony. I called my mom. I called back home my friends. I made it seem like they was there how much I was talking about it. Because it was just a great experience by just being there and me being only 17. My school was waiting for me to come back so I could tell them the whole story. I ain't even have to do work. I just had to write a summary about what I was doing in the Olympics and showing them pictures, and I passed the grade.
If you'd have known that, you'd have tried out for the Olympic team when you were 13 or 14, huh?
Yeah, I wish, boy. I wish.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you ended up losing. I believe it was against Zhu Shiming in that Olympics. Do you remember that experience? I mean, Shiming's a highly decorated amateur, so obviously it had to be a tough test. But what do you remember about the fight?
It was like I had less experience, and it was kind of hard trying to chase a fighter down because I was used to fighters, trying to walk me down or try to beat me to the punch. And with him, it was like he had great footwork, and it was just hard to hit him. I was chasing him down, trying to knock him out or trying to even touch him, but his footwork was just so amazing. It was just unbelievable. So it was like, dang, because it was my second time fighting him. Because the first time I fought him I was 16 years old, and it was over in Thailand. And I'm like, and when I got in the ring with him, we started fighting. He got them, moving around the way he moved. It was like, damn, I ain't never ran into no fighter like this. This is way something different than I'm normally used to from the United States. And it was just like, Dad, how I'm going to hit him? So I used to go in the corner and like, Dad, what I got to do, chase him down or learn how to cut the ring off? It was just me being young, trying to transition from, fighting in the Junior Olympics over to, fighting in the men's class. So it was very difficult when I was fighting over in the Olympics, trying to, catch him just to get 1 point.
Yeah, also another guy you fought that's very talented, Guillermo Rigondeaux. The scores indicated that was a close fight, 21-17. What do you recall about your fight with Rigondeaux?
Yeah, I remember the first round. I think it was over in I want to say Azerbaijan, I think, if I'm mistaken. We fought in the World Cup, and I remember the first round, he hit me with a body shot. It was like an uppercut body shot in a bell ring, like right when he hit me. And I remember I'm like, hey, he hit me with a good, hard body shot. And I went to the corner, and I told my coach, to grab my cup, let me breathe some. And I'm like, you know what? Like, this somebody I ain't going to never be able to be in the ring with, because that wasn't even my weight class when I had fought him. I was fighting at 112. He was fighting at 119. And Gary Russell Jr. was on our team, but he didn't come to that tournament because both of his hands was broke. So I'm like, you know what? I could just fight 119. I don't feel like losing weight. Plus, I can eat whatever I want. So I end up fighting in his weight class, and I end up fighting Rigondeaux. And, it turned out being a good fight. I think he wasn't expecting, a person like me, like with lower experience to really, get him some type of challenge, because he was always outclassing everybody or stopping them in the ring. And I wasn't going for none of that. I was using my speed, my ability, and I wasn't even mad that I lost. I was happy that I was in a ring with a gold medalist. And I'm like, you know what? This just showed me what my hunger at and what I need to do to get ready for my fights.
Well, yeah, and especially seeing what he's done in the pros. I mean, not bad losing to not only Rigondeaux, who's ultra talented, but Shiming himself was in multiple Olympics and won multiple gold medals. But in 2007, you ended up going to the World Championships, and as a boxing fan, it seems like the World Championships are just as highly touted as the Olympics are. You went all the way in that one, defeating a Thai fighter. You remember that experience, and can you elaborate on that with the fans?
Yeah, I remember that just like it was yesterday. From getting in the ring, getting ready for the gold medal for the World Championships in 2007 in Chicago. It was a lot of nerves, but I was also comfortable because my family was there. But I think the first round, when me and the Thailand, got to fighting, he head-bunted me. And when he headbutted me, he had chipped both of my teeth in the front, and it actually broke through the mouthpiece, and it had cut the Thailand guy on his head, and he had a big scar, like a big cut on his head from my tooth for cutting him because he headbutted me. So after that round, after the first round, I went in a corner, and I wasn't even thinking about the fight. I was mad about my teeth being broke, and I'm like, my coach was like, I ain't trying to hear that. Like, you need to focus on his fight. I'm like, man, my teeth hurt. Like, he checked my teeth. Like, oh, man, I'm about to be ugly. He like, I ain't trying to hear that. So he smacked me in the head. He smacked me in my head, and threw some water on me. And, I snapped back into it. So it just made me, go out there and get even hungrier. I'm like, man, the whole time we were fighting, I was thinking, like, man, he checked my tooth. Man, I'm about to try to knock him out. So I end up, dropping and giving him an 8 count and stuff like that, and end up winning the fight. So when I win the fight, got the gold medal, I'm talking about I didn't take my mouthpiece out none for when they was raising the flag up for me winning the gold, when I was doing interviews, taking pictures, like that whole weekend. So I got to Colorado Springs to get my teeth fixed. I didn't even take my mouthpiece out.
What was it in?
Yeah, I left it in. I'm like, I'm keeping that in. They were like, so what's up with the mouthpiece? I'm like, he checked my tooth. I ain't bringing this out. I ain't taking this out. I ain't about to see me like this. Like, then people's like, it's good for boxing, good war wound. I say, well, this war wound y'all not seeing. Like, maybe y'all can see a dash on my eye or nosebleed, but that, nope. Like, y'all gonna have to wait till I go to the dentist and get them fixed.
Yeah, I think the old saying is chicks dig scars, but I don't think they usually are drawn to too many guys that are missing teeth.
Yeah.
Well, you're close to Kentucky, Rau'Shee. You know how that is. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
But 2008, you became the only American to fight in 3 Olympics, which is an unbelievable achievement. However, you lost a controversial bout with Lee Ok-Sung. Does that still leave a bad taste in your mouth?
Not no more since I went professional, but when I was still amateur, it did. It was, kind of dealing with me bad, because it was like that. I worked so hard, for a whole another 4 years to come back, and for them to, just take it away that easy. I'm like, Dad, what we got to do? Just kill them in the ring? Because it's harder already trying to knock them out, because it's either they running or you just got to catch them at the right time. And for me to order to get 1 point, I had to throw, 4 to 5 shots to get 1 point. As soon as he throw one, he get a point. And I want to understand it. And when I watched the fight, because I didn't watch the fight, probably for maybe 2-3 years after that. For my first time, I actually watched the fight, and I was throwing punches, and he was getting my points. And I was like, huh? Like I ain't understanding this. I wasn't understanding, and it had really took a toll on me, but I didn't really show it. I was just, going in the gym and just trying to, buffing up my craft and just make it better, for when I go around again. Because at that time I did want to go professional, and the USA Boxing, they told me they had got a deal for me. They got some they want to work out for me before I think about turning professional. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to see what's going on, because I was going because I wanted to go professional right after that. But I ended up signing a 2-year deal with USA Boxing, and then World Series of Boxing came apart. So I was fighting in a pro league and fighting amateur at the same time, so I didn't really have to go professional at that time.
Right, and I've heard that WSB has, they give you, I know it's team-based, but they give you regular pay and benefits as well, isn't that right?
Yeah, they gave me regular pay. When USA Boxing signed me for 2 years, then I started dealing with World Series of Boxing, then they signed me. So I was, I was getting a good check to be at my weight class. I didn't even really have to go professional, and it was a great experience. I went 8-0 in that tournament, and we wasn't fighting no bums at all. We was fighting all top dogs, people that won world champions, that won gold medals over there, over in other countries. And I mean, I know I was fighting them. I wasn't fighting no type of bums. Like, I was actually fighting the fights that we was fighting. It could have been championships belt, like I'm about to fight Friday. Like, it could have been a belt on the line, but we was only fighting 5 rounds, pro rules. And I'm happy that I did fight in that league because I learned a lot from it. Because, you know, I was so anxious, you know, with trying to, you know, get my punches off, and it was a lot of head bumps, a lot of cuts, and I had got my first stitches in that league, and they took me right to the back, hit me with the needle in my eye. It took about 30 minutes to get the needle in my eye because I was afraid for the needle, and I was scared. Plus my family, nobody wasn't there, so I'm like, man, oh my God, I don't know about this needle going in my eye. Then you got to put stitches right in the back. I'm like, man, what a hospital at? Take me to the hospital. But they just talking me into it, shooting a needle in my eye, giving me stitches right in the back and send me on. So I was like, Dad, I got my war wound right here, which was a cut on my eye. But it was a great experience, though, and I'm happy, you know, that I went through that league.
Yeah, a lot of professionals have done it. You know, guys like Lomachenko, Derevyanchenko, on and on. But turning to the pro game itself, you know, your match is coming up. You know, how are you feeling for training camp? I mean, everything been going well?
Yeah, everything's been going great in training camp. I've been here since, a week before Christmas, so I had to leave my family, my kids, and, you know, get ready for this battle. You know, that's just a sacrifice that you have to take as an athlete to get ready, you know, for somebody that's trying to take what you work hard for. And that's how I look at it, you know, that ZZ, that's what we're going to call him to go come try to, you know, take what I work hard for, because I've been in 3 Olympics and I didn't win a gold medal. And that's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. When I was fighting the Olympics, you know, put the gold medal around my mom's neck, because it's just all the struggle and all the pain that we've been through. And me being a world champion now, you know, I was able to put the belt around her neck. Well, I'm going to receive my belt once I do get to Toledo, Ohio, which is Wednesday. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm getting my belt Wednesday, and I ain't never get, since I won a world title, I ain't get my belt yet, but I'm supposed to get it when I'm going to fight against him, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm ready. Training camp was well with the coaches. All the coaches, the sparring was great for me. I had a guy in there from Texas, man, that hit it so hard. I didn't understand how he was able to hit so hard. So he made me move around in the ring, made me stay off the line, and he made me use my jab, use my ability, and I want to thank him for that. So camp went well.
All right, so we talked about your opponent, Double Z. What do you know about him? I mean, have you seen film on him? I know Jeremiah's seen a little bit of film on him.
Yeah, I saw what Jamar saw, just a little bit, just 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds of him. I just saw that, you know, he looking for the right hand, go for the knockout, and you know, he more of a, you know, a pressure fighter, you know, come forward, something that I'm used to, and that's pretty much what I know, because, you know, I ain't really watched so much on him, but the problem is that he got to worry about me. Like, people be asking me what I got to, what I'm doing, you know, to get ready for this fight. I'm doing everything to not lose my title. I think this was probably the hardest camp that I ever did, because I'm defending my title. This was harder than me fighting to win a title. So him being a mandatory like I was at once, I know what type. I feel like he putting his all on the line just like I did to win a title. And I put my all on the line like I never had the title. Because, like I told you, I'm just now receiving my belt Wednesday when I get to Toledo, Ohio. I didn't receive it at all the whole time when I won June 18th of last year. This will be my first time seeing my belt.
Yeah, I saw that unboxing scene. I was looking through some of the news, and it said you had received one of your belts
a while one of them.
Yeah, a while ago, but the WBA, I mean, what's the deal with that? I mean, why has it taken so long for them to give it to you?
I don't know. They try to say something. They was telling me I finally talked to them, and they say they was changing or doing some stuff. I don't know what was going on. It was kind of going in the ear and out the other, because I was seeing everybody else fighting on TV they got their WBA titles and stuff like that, and they was receiving their titles, and I fought before them. So I don't know what the deal that was. So like I said, I guess I'm gonna see my title when I get there, because they say the president himself, go put me on, present it to me, and I just seen them put up a picture on the WBA Instagram that I'm fighting the guy this Friday, and they ain't even put up they ain't even congratulate me when I won the title.
Yeah. Well, you'll be fighting in your home state of Ohio. I don't think there's been a bantamweight title holder from Ohio since Tim Austin. What does that mean for you to be fighting in your home state? I know you have before, but it has to mean a little bit more when your family, friends can all get there without a problem.
Yeah, it's an honor. It's been a while since I fought in Ohio, period. And me fighting on this undercard with Robert Eastern, it's like this something me and him always talked about when we was in training camp, when we first had our professional fights, and now we both world champions, and we defended our titles in Ohio in front of our family, friends, and people ain't really got to drive, that far to come see me. And it's like it's about to be fun. That's all I can say. It's about to be fun, just because everybody been ready to see me fight. They've been asking when I'm fighting home, and when I'm coming home and fighting, I'm like, Toledo's the next big thing. So they all coming up there like it's my hometown.
All right. Well, we know you're going to come out victorious against your fight against Double Z. The plan after that is what? To unify the titles?
Yeah. Fight somebody else that got a title. That's my plan. Put my title versus your title. That's the plan. I want to fight other champions.
Now, out of the other three champions, is there any one guy that you want to take on first in particular?
I keep hearing the tall guy from England. I can't pronounce his name. McDonald. Yeah, him. Because they called us to fight one time, which was in November, and they wanted me to fight in France. And I'm like, why would I fight in France for? I ain't got no people there, nobody there. Like, that's backwards. Why would I fight you in France? Like,
yeah, you fight in France, you better knock him out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the way I was looking at it. I have to knock him out because I feel like I want to get no decision the way this boxing game going. And I'm like, you know what?
Oh, the last title fight I remember in France, I know there's been more since, was Pernell Whitaker fought Jose Luis Ramirez there and won like every round, and somehow Ramirez got the decision.
Oh, see, and Pernell Whitaker, my favorite fighter.
No, he's one of my favorites too, but he totally whipped Ramirez's ass every round, and they gave the decision to Ramirez. I don't think Ramirez landed a punch in the fight.
Well, you know what it was Ramirez had a French promoter. And I know it's a bit odd, a Mexican with a French promoter, but yeah, that's what it was. He had a French promoter. They got him over in France and fucked him.
There you go again, Jeremy. You can't get help from saying the F word, can you?
No, I'm sorry.
All right.
But it's true. So, I mean, it's proper for the context.
Oh, all right. Yeah, because somebody's always getting fucked when you deal with boxing, so let's see. Especially amateur boxing. So, Rau'Shee, what do you do in your spare time when you're not training? You got any hobbies or interests outside of boxing?
If I ain't, in football with my son or spending time with my three little ones, my hobby is like dressing. Like I love like shopping. Like I'm into fashion heavy. Like that's just something I like doing outside the ring. I like looking good in the ring. I like looking good outside the ring. And I think over the years I done picked up on fashion, doing different things with the way I dress. And, everybody always talking about how little my feet is because I wear a size 4 and I'm 29 years old. And so when I go shop, I'm in the kids area shopping for me and my kids. So I'm getting.
Hey, it's cheaper that way though.
Yeah, it's real cheaper. And everybody how you this old and you wear a size 4? And I'm like, No, my mom got small feet, and my dad got small feet, so I guess I got small feet. So, and
I'd
got
be getting the layup kicks.
and I probably got 400 something shoes in my house.
Jeez.
So I
I got one pair because my kids spend all my money. So.
Yeah. So every time I'm going shoe shopping, I ain't just getting one pair. I'm getting 2, maybe 3 pairs.
All right, Jeremiah, you got any final questions for Rau'Shee?
No, I'm just excited to see him on Bounce TV. It's been a pleasure having you on. You've been one of the best interviews that we've had. We appreciate it. We just wish the American public would follow you more. You've got the amateur credentials. You've got the belt. Pay attention, folks.
Pay attention.
Yeah, Rau'Shee, it was great having you on. We'd love to have you back next week after you whip this dude's ass. And after watching the fight, if you can get it to go 5 or 6 rounds and make the announcer say his name enough, we might all know what it is.
All right. All right. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rau'Shee. We'll talk to you next week. Good luck Friday night.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, guys, that wraps up another Inside Boxing Weekly. Make sure you check out all of our articles, boxing interviews. We've had Carlos Palomino on before, Lamont Peterson, Barry Hunter, of course, Rau'Shee, Terrible Tim Witherspoon, Marvis Frazier, John Scully. The list goes on and on. So make sure you check out all that on thegruelingtruth.net. You can catch all of our shows on iHeartRadio, iTunes, TuneIn, Google Music, anywhere you find any kind of sports podcast, you'll find The Grueling Truth. So for Jeremiah Preisser, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.